Hi Jane. So what's happening then? What's the story?
Well, as a TSI, we've been invited to be part of the locality leadership groups that are now being formed across Aberdeen City. There are 4 of them. Unfortunately, they're not the same localities as community planning, which is causing a bit of a stress at the moment and confusing everybody. But the good news is that the third sector are there, also the independent sector are there, and we're seeing a lot more co-productive working and a lot more partnership working, which is really helping to bring things together. So in terms of what's actually happening on the ground is we're now looking at community events. We've got structures being put in place. You've got the core leadership locality group, but then you've got a planning group, a subgroup for the plan, the strategic plan that has got to be developed. But also we've got a data group that is helping to help with decision making to see what the priorities might be. And what we've asked for is a community partners group. Now, if I can show you this wonderful diagram that I put together earlier, the community partners group, where it's placed is really key, right at the heart of things. So this can be the barometer for the other groups to use their community partners group to develop and to be guided by to make sure they're making the right decisions for the locality itself. This, we hope, is going to really help with bottom-up working as opposed to top-down. Obviously, we need a bit of top-down stuff. That's always going to happen. You're always going to need a structure. But at the end of the day, how do we get more and more information coming up from the very people that these services are going to affect? So we're very excited about it. We're very excited to be involved. But at the moment, it's emerging. So there's an awful lot of trying to find the right groove, making sure we've got adequate representation. And my responsibility, my role as a partnership manager in ACVO is to make sure that our third sector voices are in that room. Not just our community organisations, but also our community representatives. And at the moment, we are way behind. We've only just started. It's all emerging, but it's coming. We've got carers representatives, we've got housing representatives, but we also need community representatives that can adequately reflect the Equalities Act to make sure every part of our community is involved. But also, and very importantly, we've looked at the National Community Engagement Standards, which were launched at the end of February. Timing is perfect because we're also using the voice software, which is free from the Scottish Government, and that is keeping us right in the groove.
Fantastic. What elements would you say were the really key to the success of this approach?
I'm going to have to say strong leadership from our integration executive group. We have people that are very committed to what's happening. They don't underestimate the task. It's hugely complex, and sometimes that can be a problem, but we have strong leadership. We have our acting strategic manager, Kevin Toshney, who's brilliant. We also have people within the system that understand how this is going to have to come together. And I also think it's about co-producing. It's about understanding these partnerships and not health making the decision or the local authority making a decision or integration making a decision, but all of us together. And that's what these locality leadership groups are giving us. So one of the other really good things has been the input from SCDC in terms of the national standards, the voice software, and also they've come here and spoken to us about what is happening across Scotland. The other thing is the recognition that this partnership, we have to harness and capture the energies between all of us. And involvement of the independent sector as well. We found a really good working relationship with the independent sector has been superb.
Okay. And just one final question: what would be if you were starting this whole process again? What would the one thing be that you'd do different, if there is one?
I think it's going to have to be about capacity. We would love to have more people working on this. Obviously, as a TSI, we have our CEO, who is incredibly active. You've got myself as a partnership manager, and then probably just 2 other members of staff. But we're all doing work within the TSI anyway, so this is kind of extra. And it's so critical and so vital. I think that would make a lot of difference because I'm out at meetings all the time and catching up with the actions from that. But I do think that part of this is actually, it's not a spectator sport. You have to be involved. It might not be perfect, but you've got to thrash it out and you've got to be present. And the thing is not to say this should be a perfect situation and this should be happening and that should be happening. Make it happen. Get in there, walk into the dark cave of integration and just find the light at the end of the tunnel. And we have to make that light. So that's really what we're trying to do.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jane, for sharing your story.
You're very welcome.